Happy Friday. It's Patricia Murphy. This is Seattle Now. It is gorgeous outside. This week, vaccines opened up, and so did the Sounders season. In a minute, KUOW Zaki Hamid and Crosscut's Hannah Weinberger are here to break it all down. But first, let's get you caught up. While a vote to unionize Amazon workers failed in Bessemer, Alabama, the messaging appears to have resonated with outgoing CEO Jeff Bezos. In his final note to shareholders, Bezos says he takes no comfort in the outcome of the vote in Bessemer. He says it's clear there needs to be a vision for how Amazon creates value for employees. In his new role as executive chair, Bezos says he's going to work to make that happen. The University of Washington Seattle campus is planning on holding most classes in person this fall. In an email to students, the university said it was optimistic about the fall because vaccinations had outpaced infections. It's likely everyone will still have to mask up. UW was the first university in the U.S. to shift to remote learning, March 6th last year. And you might want to find your sunglasses, your sunblock, and your summer clothes. Thursday was the first day above 70 degrees in Seattle this year, and we felt it. The unusually pleasant weather will continue through the weekend, where it'll get even warmer. We might even hit an uncomfortable 80 degrees. Don't get too excited. It's going to cool down again on Monday. This is Seattle. What a week. Vaccines are open to everyone over 16, and the cherry blossoms haven't been blown out of here by the spring storms. It's the best of what we can expect from spring around these parts. Hannah Weinberger is here. She's a science reporter for Crosscut. Hannah, a lot of folks booking their vaccines today. What's the coolest place you can imagine getting vaccinated right now?
Hi! So I thought getting vaccinated basically on the docks in Seattle on a beautiful sunshiny day was as good as it could get, but I saw someone tweeting from their vaccine appointment at a roller rink with a disco ball.
Nice.
So I imagine there are a lot of great options. I was also thinking if I had my pick, it might be fun to get vaccinated at like an amusement park where you're already waiting in line, or on a boat, but if you had a bad reaction, you wouldn't know if it was because you were nauseous from wave action or it was the vaccine. So I think I'll probably just stick with the docs.
Zeke Hamid is here too. He's KUOW's Director of Community Engagement. Zeke, where would you go for your vaccine selfie if you had the choice?
One, I will never take a selfie with the vaccine. I don't like selfies. That's the grandpa in me coming out, you know? I'm not picky. Just jab it in my arm. I don't care where I am. But if I really had my pick, I would say Lumen Field, not like the actual where they're having it, but like on the Sounders pitch, like right there. That's where I would like to be. Maybe in T-Mobile Park in the outfield or something like that.
I'm feeling pretty basic. I got my vaccine at Shoreline Costco. That was probably the least flashy place to get your vaccine.
But like efficient, if you needed to pick up anything, you were right there.
That's what happened, actually. That's how the whole thing played out, Hannah. Well, it is V-Day with a new meeting. Vaccines are open to all adults now in Washington, and you really can just feel the energy and hope in the air. We taped this show on Thursday, so we're just wading into the early excitement. And Hannah, there really is excitement. The vibe is so good.
Yeah, I'm seeing so many people excited today, and that's wonderful. I'm hoping the enthusiasm persists through any difficulties people might have getting an appointment today. Expanding capacity takes time. You know, we've got about 1.7 million adults in Washington fully vaccinated out of, 6.3 million eligible people. So it's going to take a while to get through everyone. Last check, I think 57,000 people were getting vaccinated in this state every day.
That's amazing. And King County says 50% of all adults have had at least one shot. But I wonder, now that vaccines are going to become more prevalent, how are we going to be talking about them in social situations? Like, is it going to be cool or uncool to ask if you have been vaccinated? Zeki, I had this experience recently where I assumed this person was vaccinated, but they weren't. And I don't want to get into too many details, but let's just say my behavior changed significantly when I realized my misassumption about this person.
Did you take a few steps back?
Well, not because I was afraid for me. I was afraid for them. I felt like a terrible vector when I realized.
once I do get it, I'm not going to flout it. I'm not going to talk about it. It is what it is. Unless somebody asks me, I'll be, perfectly honest. But I'm not going to go, oh, look, I got this, and here's my picture, and here's my card. I'm just going to, do it silently, celebrate silently.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is I have no idea what my reaction is going to be. I had this dream where I was getting the shot, and then I just started sobbing, just absolutely sobbing. And that was such a vivid dream. So I don't know what my reaction is going to be.
Yeah. I have a delayed reaction a lot of times. It takes a little bit for stuff to kind of land for me. It wasn't until like maybe middle of the night next day that I really started to realize, like, wow, you have this thing in you now that is fighting something that's killing people. And that was an amazing, amazing feeling. Mm-hmm. I'm such a big mouth. I got vaccinated t-shirt.
Oh my God, that's great.
Hannah, I saw on your Twitter feed, again, I did go to social media every once in a while, but I saw you had this whole thread about vaccine tattoos.
Oh my gosh. Well, I've just been so curious about how getting vaccinated might affect someone, because we're all going through this huge traumatic thing, and people like to get tattoos to memorialize things. And I kind of want to bring like a tattoo gun to my next dose, so whomever's there can sign like, you're welcome, maybe, just to, because this is such a huge feat, and I want to, show people I'm a part of it. So there are people out there getting vaccine themed tattoos. I saw a great one where somebody got like a target on their arm with a bunch of like needles pointing into it.
Nice.
So if you see any, send them my way.
Yeah, your vaccine tattoo is probably going to be a lot cooler than that Motley Crue tattoo you got in the 80s.
That's exactly why I never got a tattoo, because I'd have a huge Guns N' Roses tattoo right now.
Oh my gosh. Well, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine was front and center this week, but for all the wrong reasons, Washington put a pause on administering that particular vaccine for side effects involving blood clots. They're going to have to investigate that, although it's very rare, right? Just 6 cases out of 7 million so far that we're hearing about. I wonder, pulling the vaccine seems like a plan, but was it the most effective plan? Was it the best plan?
I can't help but think how risky this move is to put a pause on it, because there are other countries in the world that look to the U.S. and they say, oh, wait, if the U.S. halted this, then there's no way I'm taking it. But in a lot of these countries, the J&J is the only option that they have. So that just perpetuates this cycle of people being very hesitant about getting this in the first place. I think it's a very damaging move when I think about the other countries that only have that option.
I totally agree. Yeah, Zaki. And I mean, there are some populations that really rely on it. So even if they're comfortable with it, they might not be able to get it now. Like, there's a pause on vaccination in prisons in King County now because of the pause. Like, there is no alternative vaccine that they're getting. And this vaccine is easier to store. It only requires 1 shot.
Well, and this is important because there are certain people we may only get 1 chance to vaccinate. People whose lives, for whatever reason, are not consistent enough to show up for that second shot. So this is a really important vaccine for certain people.
Absolutely.
Big night for the Sounders, you guys. 7,000 fans expected to gather at their season opener tonight. Mariners did it first, of course. They had their home opener, but this will be the first time fans are back in CenturyLink since the early days of the pandemic. Zeki, that pandemic game, you went.
I sure did. I was at the pandemic game. I'm not going to this game because I'm not yet vaccinated. Mm-hmm. I do have tickets for other games, though.
Nice.
But not tonight. Tonight I will be watching at home with all my gear, and I just can't wait. Go Sounders.
You're going to get set up in front of the TV? Like, do you have a thing that you put out?
Oh, we all do. Yeah, absolutely. We wear the jerseys, you get the scarves, it's a whole thing. It's almost like a religious service. It really is. We have a Sounders flag flying outside the house. I mean, we're all in.
I love it. I love enthusiasm for anything, Zeki. That's fantastic. Of course, the ticket rollout for the game tonight was pretty rocky. There were some technical issues, and I guess demand was far higher than they anticipated, which I don't even get.
Oh, you put it in such a nice way, Trish. It was a disaster. It started with 8 a.m. with the wrong email being sent saying, like, tickets available now, which that was supposed to be sent at 11. So people started going in and waiting in line, thousands of people ahead of them. And once you got there, it tells you nothing's available. So that's how it all started. And then after 11 o'clock, when it was, okay, supposedly right, tons of technical glitches, and they were going by order of legacy. So if you got your season tickets in 2009, like I did, you had first dibs, and then each hour moves down the line. Tons of people didn't get tickets, lots of frustrations. I have no idea how I lucked out and got tickets to all the games, except for the first one.
You're a Sounders OG, Zeki. That's how they knew.
I am an OG, absolutely.
And I wonder, though, because we are going to have to control people's access, whether or not it's going to be a perpetual reservation system. Our lives are just going to be making reservations to go to a restaurant, to go to the movies, to go to a game.
I dig that. Going to the zoo has been so awesome, during the pandemic, because you have a certain window, it's not crowded, and it's like, ooh, I like this.
Nice, Zeki. One more thing before we go. It has been a stunning weather week. The air is warm. The mountains are out. Oh, man, I never get tired of that view. And it is going to be a gorgeous weekend. Sunny and in the 70s until Monday. If you remember, you can look up and witness the start of the Lyrid meteor shower. Hannah, what are you doing this weekend?
So I recently got to do some field reporting on an amphibian egg sac monitoring community science program, like you do. We have pretty weird jobs. So I was following this group of my neighbors around in this like beaver dammed pond on Thornton Creek the other day, looking for egg sacs. This is an important thing to do if you want to keep tabs on how species are doing in the state, and the Department of Fish and Wildlife doesn't have enough resources to do it all themselves. So I want to see if I can go out and find some egg sacs and ID them myself. Like, they still look a lot like, chia seed pudding to me. So I don't know if I'll be able to do it. That's my plan.
Hannah, that is an answer beyond my dreams. I mean, what am I going to do this weekend? I think I'm going to probably get my car washed. Jeez Louise.
Hey, that's great.
Zeki, what are you going to do this weekend?
Well, I'm not going to be looking for egg sacs, that's for sure. But I'm probably just going to sit and tell the kids to get off my lawn. We live in a lovely neighborhood, and we have a great backyard, and we're just going to chill. I'm going to just probably be just taking care of the lawn. I love taking care of my lawn, which is not a Pacific Northwest thing.
No, it's an old man thing, Zeki. It's an old man thing.
It is.
He's got a brand.
I'm telling you, I do. I really do. The next step is for me to get a little magnifying glass and start looking at, the lawn blades. I'm like, is that perfect here? Let's see,
I'm crying.
And we're leaving it there. Thanks again to my guest, Zaki Hamid, KUOW's Director of Community Engagement, and Hannah Weinberger, Science Reporter for Crosscut and Weekend Egg Finder. Thanks, you two.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go Sounders.
Have a great weekend. Seattle Now is produced by Clare McGrane, Caroline Chamberlain Gomez, and Jason Pagano. Matt Jorgensen does our music. I'm Patricia Murphy. See you Monday.